Yeah. Okay. Good evening, councillors. Good evening, members of the public. Welcome to this evening's full council meeting on Wednesday, the 26th of November, in the Barnbury Room, DCC. Straight on to the agenda is item 1: apologies. To receive any apologies for absence. Jo, do you have any apologies?
Yeah, we've received an apology from Councillor Ranger and Councillor Carson, and Councillor Bevan is just absent.
Okay, thank you. Item 2 on the agenda is declarations of interest. Arising from this agenda, members and officers are invited to declare any relevant interest notwithstanding this item. Members may subsequently declare an interest at any point during the meeting. Do we have declarations of interest from any councillors this evening? No. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda is to receive the minutes of the previous full council meeting held on the 15th of October.
So, to vote.
Thank you.
Need to vote.
So can I just have a show of hands, all in favour for me to sign, for the councillors that were present, which is Councillor Berry, myself, Councillor Stallard and Councillor Vickers. So just no, if you're not here you can't.
You weren't summoned.
Yeah.
No, but I think isn't that the one where we were
corrected? Yeah. Oh.
But you weren't summoned.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so just the official members. So for the four of us that were here, can I have a show of hands? All for favour?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, item 4 on the agenda is co-option councillors, to receive written applications for the office of parish councillor and to co-opt candidates to fill the existing vacancies. So we currently have 2 vacancies on council and we have received 2 applications. They've previously been circulated and you've all had the opportunity to have a look at the applications. If you're happy, I should do. If you're happy, I will do Mr. Philip Harrison first. That must be used to that. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to address council with? We've received your application, but if there's anything additional you'd like to say, this is an opportunity to quickly say hello.
My background, I've lived in the village for roughly 25 years now. My children went to Denby Infants Junior School. I volunteer at the Denby Repair Cafe. My wife used to be a school governor as well. And now I've been retired for 10 years, so I kind of feel that I could give back some of that to the community. So hence the reason I was going to join the parish council.
Okay. Do councillors have any questions? You're more than welcome to address Mr. Harrison. No? In that case, if everyone's happy, I propose that we co-opt Mr. Phil Harrison on. I'd like to have a quick show of hands, all those in favour. You're more than welcome now to join us at the table, and you can. Right, sure. And you're more than welcome to engage in debate, etc. But when it comes to voting, you can't officially vote, so it must be best to abstain from that section. Okay. Is it best now to do the committee structure for the new?
No. Do the culture and then.
Do you want?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, so the next application is for Tim Lewington, is it? Yeah. Okay. So same again. If you'd like to just give a brief.
Well, I feel my sandwich has been rather stolen actually. I've lived in the village since '97. Both my children have attended the infants and junior schools. I was a school governor for a while. I work locally on the top of Portsdown Hill. I'm now partly retired, so I've got a bit more time on my hands, and I feel I've got the opportunity to give something back to the village.
Okay. Do councillors have any questions? No? No? We're all happy. Therefore, I propose that we co-opt on Tim as our final co-opted councillor so that we become a full house. Can I have a quick show of hands, all in favour? Thank you very much. You're more than welcome to join us. You already are.
You can move the chair back round now.
Around there. So should we do committee structures now?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to now formally put you on the committees. I'd prefer if you both come on to planning, because my committee is still a little bit shy of numbers. So I'll put you both on the committee planning if you're happy for that. Phil, would you be happy to join us on the highways committee?
Yep.
Yeah. And then Tim, if you're happy to then join us for the amenities.
Okay.
So planning and amenities and planning highways. If you're both happy with that. Jim? Okay, brilliant. Welcome aboard. All right, full house. Okay. Item 5 on the agenda, Denny Parish Council projects. To note the ongoing project report from the parish clerk. Happy with that, Jim?
So that has been circulated. Anybody got any questions from that at all?
Thank you. Item 6 on the agenda is public participation. The meeting will recess for not more than 15 minutes to allow any members of the public to address the meeting in respect of the items on this agenda. Do any members of the public have any questions or wish to address council? Paula?
I've got a few actually, sorry. Just looking at the budget, I see that you have got on the agenda at 9.4 to receive and approve the final version of the budget. But when I looked at the budget, you've still budgeted £5,000 for the summer party. And we're not actually holding a summer party. Council decided not to hold one next year.
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
We have in the balance because we think he was doing something different.
Yes, we are keeping that because we are in the mindset of doing something. Although time is against us, that will be a future item agenda. That is, yeah, we are thinking of doing something. So
Okay.
that's why, yes, that's why we kind of kept that. Just in case.
I just wanted to make sure it doesn't know.
No,
That's right,
but
thank
thank you,
you.
Councillor Vickers, as well. For
And then the next one is the environment for the drone. I asked Winchester because I know that we discussed in planning, you said that you wanted to use it for surveillance, for planning. And I wondered why Winchester don't use one. So I asked the question, and apparently there are some legal issues in terms of GDPR,
Yeah.
and there are specific regulations that pertain to local authorities that don't pertain to members of the public. So it's not just GDPR, it's called Covert Human Intelligence Sources, so CHIS, and REPA, which is the Regulation of Investigatory Powers. They're both legal acts which apply to the use of drones. So it's just something that you might actually, when you come to decide on that, you might also ask the party to do some investigations into that.
There is some regulations we have to follow.
Yeah, I think yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I will talk about the toilets when I do my briefing.
Thank you.
The councillor briefing, because obviously I've got some background information on that. Parish Council Committee Structures at number 17. I'm very pleased to see that you are adding the Vice Chairman of Committees on the standing orders to Finance, Admin and Personnel.
Yes.
Because at the moment,
A bit vulnerable.
because there are so few people wearing the hats, you're in a democratic deficit, and that's never a good place to be, so I was very pleased to see that on the agenda. And then number 18 is representation to IDPC, to Denny associations. Just for members to be aware that the appointment of parish councillors to outside organisations always has been for organisations that the parish council has business assets relating to the organisation. So it would either be that they use parish facilities, or that so for example bowling club, tennis club, etc., or that we've got legal agreements with lease agreements and things like that. So that's the background for that structure previously. Thank you very much.
So, okay. Do councillors have any questions for any? Who wants to go first? Mark or Ian? Ian?
My question is about the 4th of September meeting that was held, that the minutes were signed off for, the exploring meeting. In that meeting, it was stated by the chair that all questions in that meeting would be answered, and that the business case would be published. As far as I'm aware, this hasn't happened.
Right.
Do you know when it is going to happen?
I don't know to my knowledge, but we can find out and then respond to yourself when that will be happening.
Yeah, obviously they
yeah, can't
they
give you an
usually
update on that.
published to the
No.
effectively to the village.
Do you have any input on that, Joe? Or do we just...
No, I don't know whether the councillors have actually answered those, but
Okay, we can chase that up and then respond.
I'll request the...
Part of the reason for it is obviously there were allegations of financial irregularities
Fine.
that were put to members of the council at the time.
I will ask
Is
Councillor
that right?
Ranger to look at that
Yeah,
when he
thank you.
returns from annual leave. Yeah.
That's it. Thanks, Ian. Mark.
Yeah, no, just to say, I've noticed that you corrected the previous error, and that's be welcomed if the budget's approved, and that will see the 8% extra that was not requested but added to the budget addressed, and you've taken that budget about 2 years. So when everything's going up, it's good to see that you're trying to make savings when you can, but of course there's still some concerns in there with £18,000 for an election for a new councillor that is not turning up to council. I don't know if they're sending apologies. Obviously, many residents will have concerns about that cost and the effectiveness of what's happening with that member of council. And just a personal plea really from, I'm only one resident and obviously you'll have to engage with many, but try and focus moving forward in the next budget and completing the projects that you've already committed to. We hear talks about contracts being extracts, things like that, and I'm not sure you've got the budget kind of to do that at the moment when so many other projects seem to be outstanding, and you're obviously trying to address the previous over budgeting to make savings. So just be mindful.
Yeah. Yeah, council's constantly moving in a forward direction. We're always looking at the best ways that we can serve the community. Your comments are appreciated as well, but we are taking into account some of the things you raised. So thank you, Mark. Councillor Vickers?
Can I just say that we had a really detailed budget meeting to look at the preset and look at things, and we had to make some very tough decisions on some things. So I do take your point, Mark, about, and I too echo the point that the projects that we have semi-started need to be finished and robustly move forward, and we are, please be assured we are doing that. Okay, but the budget meeting was long, lengthy, detailed, and there were differing opinions because people want to do right for the village, but they also want to do right for the whole populace of the village. So I just want to assure you that we have robustly looked at the budget.
Thank you. Any other councillors wish to address? Happy? Okay. In that case, I'll close the public session. Thank you very much, and we move on to item 7 on the agenda, to receive the minutes, report, recommendations and resolutions from the meetings below. Note, in accordance with SO 12, the only minutes to be received by council are those that have been approved by the appropriate committee. These can be found on the website. Highways and general purposes, the 1st of October 2025. Planning, the 8th of October. Amenities, the 10th of September. Planning, the 29th of October. And finance and general purposes on the 24th of September 2025. So is council happy for me to approve?
I was just noted.
Just noted. Thank you, Joe. Thanks.
Right.
Okay, on to item 8 on the agenda is to receive the district council report. To receive reports from the county and district councillors. Councillor Stallard.
Yeah, so Councillor Stallard, I have forwarded you the document that she has sent out, and that'll be available on the website for members of the public to see as of tomorrow under our minute section.
Brilliant, thank you.
And then we've got
Yep, and then we've got
Councillor
Councillor Langford-Smith for your report, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll try and keep it as brief as possible, but there's quite a lot to update you on, I'm afraid. The biggest thing, obviously, is the local government reorganisation. I've been talking about it for quite a long time now. The government have received all of the suggestions from each of the authorities, and have now put those back out for consultation. The 4 proposals were from Hampshire County Council and East Hants District Council, who proposed 4 unitaries across the whole area. Basingstoke and Dean, New Forest and Test Valley proposed 5 unitaries. Eastleigh, Fareham, Hart, Havant, Portsmouth, Rushmore and Southampton proposed 5 unitaries, and Winchester also proposed 5 unitaries. You can find the proposals on the link on my document, and Gosport Borough Council and the Isle of Wight Council did not submit proposals. There has been a notification out today. There is a unitary that is a year ahead of where we are, and the consultations that went out there, the government have selected the fewer unitaries. So where there were 4 proposed and 5 proposed, they selected the 4 proposed. So we don't know if that's what's going to happen here. It's a case of wait and see, but the consultations are available, so I would urge everyone to go online and share your views.
Sorry to interrupt, is that just one that's ahead of us, or is there multiple?
No, it's 1.
Okay,
Yeah. I think it's Surrey.
okay.
Yeah. Community governance review. This is completely different from the local government review. This is about the creation of a new parish for Winchester Town. So it's a very hot topic in central Winchester because Winchester are also trying to incorporate some of the other parishes within a Winchester Town parish, and those parishes are not terribly happy about it. Again, there is a consultation online. I don't know if anyone here is particularly interested in that, but I've included it because it's a Winchester consultation. So if you do have an opinion on that, you're more than welcome to complete the form and fill out. Kibble Lane toilets. So I know you've got this on the agenda later. I know there's been some talk on Facebook about the fact that this is a new thing. This has been coming to council for at least 2 years. So at the moment, Winchester manage them, and they manage the contract, they own them, and the parish council pay £4,500 a year towards the maintenance and the cleaning. They are cleaned every day, and I think there are 4 months of the year where they're actually cleaned twice a day, which is some summer months and December. I know that they're not always in a great state and that they do often get vandalised, but at the moment Winchester bear that cost. In August 2023, in spring 2023, they approached the parish council and said that they wanted for each of the places that has public toilets to take them over. So they asked DPC if we would take over ownership and therefore maintenance, ongoing maintenance and cleaning costs. We felt, I say we because I was part of DPC at the time, felt that Winchester should retain the ownership and the maintenance and the cleaning, because our residents already pay 50% on top of the cost of the toilets that other residents don't pay. So we felt that it should come out of the council tax that residents pay, and we already pay 50% extra. But after a further approach in May 2024, DPC upheld the previous resolution and said that we would wait until we see what devolution would bring, but also discussed that we would be prepared to take over the toilets, ownership and maintenance, if they would transfer the car park to us at the same time. The rationale was that this would secure the future of the car park and make sure that it's free to use. If it goes to a unitary, so for example at the moment, Hampshire own most of the car parks in central Winchester, the prices go up every year. They're all fee-paying car parks. Wickham Square is a fee-paying car park. Denmead is the only free car park, and Parish Council were very keen to make sure that that stayed, because we felt that that contributed to the vibrancy and viability of our village centre, as per the council strategy. There hasn't been a formal response to that suggestion that they transfer the car park, although when it was Darren Lewis that we were speaking with at the time, who's a Winchester officer, he said he would put it to the councillors, and I've also had informal conversations with the deputy leader at Winchester, and he said he doesn't see any reason why they wouldn't want to transfer the car park, because especially with devolution, it's no loss for them anyway. So in September 2024, I did ask Winchester Cabinet when Denmead might expect our toilets to be refurbished, because the central Winchester ones and the ones at Park and Ride had already been completed. and their response was that they were waiting for their lead to positively engage. So I will leave it for your discussion later on. I am perfectly happy to continue raising this with Cabinet at Winchester, and we'll be doing so in January, because I believe that we deserve our toilets to be refurbished, whether or not Winchester own and manage them, or whether DPC own and manage them. Next is the Emerging Local Plan, which the name of the plan is a document part of. The next steps, so Winchester have published the post-action hearing points and many modifications. I gave a very brief summary of those in the last meeting. There is a public consultation on the modifications that is now live. That was published on Friday the 21st of November, and it will close on Friday the 16th of January. So if you have nothing to do over the Christmas period, you can go online and have a look at the proposed modifications to the local plan. Next is community resilience engagement sessions. The communities team have been working on a community resilience strategy. So that's, to put it into context, this is if there were to be a plane crash just in the fields outside of Denley, what would the community be doing to respond? If we were to have major flood in the village, what is the community doing to respond? So it's to help us build a resilience strategy, and that strategy is going to the Health and Environment Policy Committee on the 2nd of December. So they've come out to the community for feedback. It's tomorrow.
Right.
So I received this on Monday, and the consultation is at Wickham, which is our closest one, tomorrow at 4 till 6 in Wickham Community Centre. There's another one at the Guildhall on the 2nd of December, Alsford Recreation Centre on Wednesday the 3rd, which is actually after the date it's going to the committee, so I'm not sure about that, but anyway. And then online specifically for parish councils, they're doing an Eventbrite online briefing Monday the 8th of December at 4:30. So again, I've got all the links in the document, so if you wish to register for any of those, you can do so. Sorry, nearly there. Food waste collection. The new food waste collection service is now up and running in Denmead. Again, I'll put a link there for anyone that wants any further information. I've only been contacted by a couple of people that didn't receive their bins, and I've chased up all those and they have now been delivered. But if anyone else is experiencing any difficulties, don't hesitate to contact me and I can chase up with the team at Winchester. I was in a briefing last night and was advised that Horizon Leisure in Waterlooville actually do a discount community card for eligible people. It gives 40% discounts off of the crash facilities, swimming lessons, squash, table tennis, gym, soft play, drive clubs and classes. And to be eligible, you should be receiving at least one of the following: income support, employment support allowance, universal credit, pension credit, job seekers allowance, etc., etc. Again, the list is all in my document. You can find more information there, and there's also a link to access further information. Next one is there's been a public sector executive report on the government's code conduct reform, and the government are proposing tougher sanctions to tackle misconduct within councils and restore trust in local politics. Councillors and mayors who break the rules or commit serious misconduct could face tougher sanctions, and they have come out on a consultation on this, and key proposals include a mandatory code of conduct for all local authorities to ensure consistent standards, new powers to suspend councillors for up to 6 months, which is not a power that is existing at this point in time, withholding allowances, so the taxpayers' money is not spent on councillors breaching codes of conduct, and requirement for standards committees, interim suspension powers, and support for complainants and the National Appeals Function. So again, there's more information there. The consultation received strong backing, with 94% supporting the mandatory code and 86% supporting suspension powers. So this actually forms part of the government's wider agenda to empower local areas. Winchester has adopted a model code this summer, and councillors will also be aware that the review of the standards investigation into complaints against DPC is ongoing under the City Council's Audit and Governance Committee, and I've put a link in there for that as well, because that went to went to the Audit and Governance Committee on the 19th of this month for the review of the outcome of the status investigation into DPC. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Sorry,
Councillor.
it's lengthy.
That's all right.
Thank you. Can you send that to me and I can put it onto the website tomorrow? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Are you happy to take questions if councillors have them?
course.
Do any councillors have questions for Councillor Langton-Smith?
I had a bit of a question about the toilets. So you said that they are waiting for BBC to positively engage. Does that imply that the conversation about trading off the car park is not positive engagement?
We've had a conversation at the time, but they have not responded to that. So
Was anything specific in writing?
from DPC, yes, but if you have I don't want to predetermine or anything, but if that's what council decide this evening, that that's what you would like to do, then you will have a resolution and it will be minuted, and Joe would write a letter to Winchester to say formally that that's what DPC would like,
Yeah.
and they would then have to formally respond, because it's a council resolution.
No, thank you. I think I was just trying to understand the clarity of to what extent is ground being retrodden. But it seems that it's still unclear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I-
Councillor Vickers, yeah.
Yeah, can I ask, do you have not to predetermine any conversation that we might have later about toilets, but are there, in terms of the car park, is there somebody that we specifically have to go to? Is there because whilst they're linked for us with the toilets, they're not linked in a natural sort of scenario with Winchester. So is there
Well, it's all asset management and asset ownership. So I believe that the person that you've received the letter from about the toilets will be the correct person to speak to.
so that would be that person?
Sharon,
Yeah, well, because it just go round and round Winchester, won't it? Thank you.
Any other questions from councillors?
With regards to those food tastings, is there a returns process if they're not required?
If you don't want them, then they will come and collect them.
Right. So we just notify Worcester Council?
If you go onto the link,
Right.
there'll be a contact on the link for you to liaise with them. I think it's customer services.
Okay. Thank you.
I know some people have returned them already.
Yeah, I
Councillor
think
Vickers?
I think it might be prudent to sort of include that somewhere, because I've had multiple people ask me about how they return them, and I don't think it's naturally there. So I don't know where we could post it or put it, or could you include it in your
Yes,
round?
the link to the food waste recycling area on the website is in my briefing.
Yeah, but could
We
you
can put
sort
that
of
social
just
media.
signpost in your thing
Yeah,
that
but we want to
if you wanted to return?
Yeah,
Do you wanna put
absolutely.
it?
Yeah, because I think that I've been asked multiple times about how to return them.
I'll amend my briefing and include the link
That
in
would
there.
be really
Yeah.
helpful, thank you.
And then if council sees it, we can circulate that and put it on social
Yeah,
media. if that's
I think
something.
it would be really helpful. I don't know why people think that as parish councillors we know, but I've been asked multiple times about food waste.
So Portsmouth City Council don't allow you to return them,
Don't know.
but you have to store them. So if you don't choose to use them, you have to store them
Oh.
under Portsmouth City Council. Yeah.
Interesting, because I've had people that have given my neighbours or the person they've been collected it.
Yeah. No. For us, we have to keep them and store them safe.
that's no good for me.
No.
I have one further, it wasn't a question, but just a comment on the Horizon piece. That should also be a social media, something people made aware of the big.
I will be posting that on social media tomorrow, but I like to brief you before I make things public.
No, it's a very big week for people in our community.
They do really
Okay.
good deals over like holidays and stuff as well. It's nice to flag.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor Langton-Smith. Okay, on to item 9 on the agenda, financial. 9.1, orders for payment. To consider and approve the orders for payment, list 12. All invoices listed have been examined, verified and certified by the RFO to consider and approve. So everyone's had a chance to have a look at them. Is everyone happy? I propose a sign. If you're happy for me to sign, can I have a seconder for that, please?
I'll second
Thank you. Can I have a show of hands, all in favour for me to sign, approve? Sorry.
That's everybody apart from our new councillors.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
actually 9.
Sorry, I know, yeah, I didn't realise that. And I was like, ooh, put the bracket. There you go, John. Is that all right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 9.2 on the agenda, accounts. To note that the accounts for October 2025 have been issued, previously circulated as of 31st of October 25, and that is just to note. Okay, item 9.3, bank reconciliations. To receive and agree the bank balances previously circulated as of the 31st of October 2025, to confirm the balances, and for the chairman to sign the statements and reconciliations. To receive and agree the bank balances and the chairman to sign the statements and reconciliations. Lloyd's current account, account number 23336468, balance is 456,047,10, and the cooperative current account, account number 65807918, the balance is 938301.
Of hands, that's all.
Yeah, can I just have a show of hands, all in favour for me to approve them? Once again, thank you.
Councillor Selwood, did you
No,
agree
I
with
didn't. Sorry,
No.
I'm not sure what I'm being asked to approve.
Oh, the bank balances. So,
Well,
oh,
I mean, if that's what they are, that's what they are.
Yeah.
I don't see whether I...
Yeah, go ahead, Joyce, want to give
so
an update? They're just, that's
That's
these
what
are
you-
just, yeah, these are
that's
just
what's
the
in the
finances that
supporting
we,
documents that were
yeah,
sent
these are
out.
just what we hold in our bank accounts.
So it gets you to
I
check
haven't seen that document.
on the supporting documents.
No.
Yeah, it's on. It should be on the supporting documents. So, yeah, but that's fine because we
Yeah.
we just leave
Perhaps
it. Yeah,
afterwards we can,
Yeah.
perhaps afterwards
Show
we
you,
get to
yeah.
that. Okay, if you're happy.
Yeah.
If not a majority show, it's fine.
yeah.
Is it everyone?
You've got to sign every page. Yeah. You should have another one as well. Should have another bank statement.
And that one there,
Yeah,
yeah.
just a smaller one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item 9.4, final budget for the municipal year 1st of April 2026 to the 31st of March 2027. 4.1, to receive and approve the final version of the budget for 2026-2027. So councillors have had a chance to examine the budget, and some of you may have been present at some of the pre-budget discussions we've had at other committees. Can I have a show of hands, please, all that are in favour for me to approve?
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, and on to 4.2, to authorise... Oh, sorry, Michelle.
Yeah, I've got one
Snellgrove,
request.
sorry.
Could you remove the rogue pound sign in front
We've
of
tried
the
to,
minus?
yeah,
Yeah.
we have tried.
Yeah.
This is only the draft
I
one.
guess it's
It's not what will be. It will
Yeah.
not be what's published
okay, no,
on the
I just-
formal site, but
because
we can't
technically
remove
that's- Yeah, okay.
So I can see it.
and that's on that
Check that,
spreadsheet. Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
4.2, to authorise the RFO to send the preset requirements for the 2026-2027 to Winchester City Council. Can I have a show of hands, all who approve and in favour?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. 4.3, to authorise the budget for 2026-2027 to be published on the council's website. Again, can I have a show of hands, all in favour?
Yeah.
Thank you. Item 4.4, to authorise the RFO to contact all organisations that have applied for grants and update them on the council's decision. Again, a show of hands, all in favour.
Can I just say
Yes, of
one
course,
thing
Jo.
from Councillor Ranger?
Of course.
He has asked for all correspondence from the RFO. Read the grant application should be standard and CC to Chair and Vice Chair, please. If you're happy with that.
To include that, can I have a show of hands, please? Thank you. And 4.5, to authorise the parish clerk to write to the staff and inform them of their salaries for the municipal year 1st of April 2026 to the 31st of March 2027. Again, may I have a show of hands, please? All in favour?
Thank you. That's my job. Hello.
Thank you.
Details.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, 9.5, the vehement to purchase a drone, licence and appropriate training. Following the budget setting meeting held on the 11th of November 2025, it was recommended by the RFO to use a balance of funds amounting to £968.51 held in Sage Code 3011, Climate Change and Environmental Planning, to purchase the drone, licence and appropriate training. The drone will, in the main, be utilised for surveillance of planning, flooding and environmental issues around the parish. To authorise the veerment from the Sage Code 3011 to purchase the drone, licence and appropriate training. The council wish to Councillor Bowden?
Just on this point made from earlier on about the particular regulations around public office use of drones, is it worthwhile putting an amendment in this that whilst the intention to use drones for this is valid, that might have to be subcontracted rather than done by a council member or council staff?
Yes, so yes, that's something we can do. So for this particular item, all we're asking is to secure the funds, and then once that's done, we can do a future item agenda for such things of spec purchases, who will use it, policies and licences, as Councillor Langford Smith mentioned earlier. So that will come later. All we're doing is purely asking to secure those funds.
There's an online document that states about how local authorities can use it. But there's very strict guidelines within that, which is what we would need to look into prior to,
So, Councillor Betts, did you want to say
I was
something?
going to say, would that be a further cost then, if we were to have to subcontract? So it's just if we're opening up a money pit.
And if you use a one-off contract or a contract provider, so if you're using a one-off, depending on the size of the drone, the operations, the requirements and times, could go from £50 up to £100, depending on what you're trying to achieve.
Okay. But we can bring that back.
If there's a further discussion.
Of course. So just to secure the funds, really, purely to authorise the veerment from the Sage Code 3011 to purchase the drone licence and appropriate training. I propose that authorisation. Do I have a seconder that we go ahead with that? Councillor Berry, can I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal?
Yeah, I've got that.
Right, Jo? Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for that. Didn't see that earlier. Thanks.
No, I found it this afternoon.
Okay, item 10 on the agenda is reports from parish representation on other bodies and organisations. The first one is Denmead Community Centre, which is myself and Councillor Ranger. Obviously, Councillor Ranger is absent this evening. There's no real update from DCC other than the fact that their beer festival, which they recently held, made great profit, a good turnout. They're looking forward to their quiz night, which is Saturday the 6th at 7:30 here, and they are looking for a DCC team, a Denmead Parish Council team. So if anyone wants to go along Saturday evening, I believe Councillor Chris, are you going, Councillor Vickers?
I haven't committed.
No? They're after council team, so perhaps we can get that. And they've just taken on a new trustee treasurer in replacement of their last one who's just left. Okay. Winchester's District Association of Local Councils and Southern Parishes. I attended a Southern Parishes recently. And the main topic, apart from local government, which Councillor Lamford Smith spoke about earlier, other aspects of conversation on that agenda was travel, concerns around bus services, water and sewerage, and another one was asking councils, parishes, for their top 5 priorities in their parish, which is to be submitted to Steve Delmidge at my next Southern Parishes, which is in December. So what I could ask councillors perhaps over the coming week or so is to think about 5 top priorities you think we should be looking at, and then I will take the top 5 and take them to Southern Parishes to be submitted to their mayor. And the Winchester District Association of Local Councils, I attended the AGM on the 12th of November. Just to note, the elected chairman again, or re-elected chairman, was Eric Bolger, and the vice chair election went to Steve Delmidge, who is the person who's after the 5 top priorities for our area. Okay. Hambledon and District Welfare and Education Trust, Councillor Ranger, so he's absent.
So there was no update, so I've received no.
Thanks, Joe. Denmead Scouts Liaison, which is myself and Councillor Stard. We've recently met with the Scouts, and I'm glad to say we're now moving in the right direction, and we're talking to Fields and Trust to try and help them move forward with some of their projects that they're going. So as soon as we hear anything, we'll feedback hopefully at the next council. Denmead Parish Council Liaison Working Party, which is myself and Councillor Berry. Apart from what I've touched on already, we haven't had no meetings, have we? So nothing new there. Denmead Football Club, Councillor Clay and Councillor Stallard. Again, for that one we haven't met since our last updates. And then the Denmead Bowling Club, Councillor Clay and Councillor Stallard. And of course that's coming up later on the agenda. But the good news is I've took Sam over there to meet the bowling club committee, and we've arranged for Sam to start hedge maintenance schedule around there, which is getting a bit wild and out of control. So we're going to bring it down to a level that we can maintain it more appropriately, and they're happy with that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And it is that item now, item 11, the bowling club, to consider a report distributed by Councillor Clay from the Lease Working Party and Bowling Liaison Party regarding discussions with the bowling club. Approval was agreed at Amenities Committee on the 22nd of October against the terms of reference to discuss and consider a retrospective resolution from full council to discuss and consider. So, have you all had a chance to read the report that I submitted? And it's come round again. You've all had a chance to have a look at that.
Can I just put, there's a couple of items, so there are a couple of items here. So Councillor Carson has put forward regarding legal fees for amending the lease if required or drawing up any other legal documents. DPC taxpayers pick up the cost across all organisation requests for changes. If this requires legal consultation and subsequent changes to leases, etc., I'm not sure the report recommendation of drawing up a simple agreement is sufficient. If an organisation requests a change that will incur cost to DPC, then it should become policy that they accept these charges. That would be for another agenda item at a later stage. But there will need to be, which isn't included, I believe, in this report, that there will need to be a deed of variation made to their lease, which there will be a cost. I have asked for a cost, but we haven't got that through yet.
Is that all from Councillor Carson?
No, but the deed of variation is my information.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Councillor Carson make any other?
No, that's it for that one.
Yeah,
that's all she wanted to say.
Okay. In response to Councillor Carson, I have scripted something. Whilst I understand Councillor Carson's comments regarding the Parish Council's legal fees, I would agree with Councillor Carson that in the instance where there is no benefit, whether financial or otherwise, to the council, the person requesting should pay the council's legal fees. However, in relation to the bowling club, the deed of variation will benefit the council by providing a rent not less than $400 per year for the next 79 years, so a minimum of $31,600 in total. However, it will in reality be a much higher amount than that, because of the rent with the CPI increase. Under the terms of the lease, bowling club are not required to pay anything other than a single peppercorn as a rent, and I have a concern that if Parish Council were to ask the bowling club to pay our legal fees for the deed of variation, the bowling club may decide not to proceed, and the council will then lose the opportunity to charge monetary rent for the next 79 years, effectively losing that 31,600. Do I have any comments or anything before I'd like to make Councillor Betts?
Maybe some clarification. So, there's this figure of 393, which is what other leases pay?
Yes, so they've agreed to pay. That will bring them in baseline with everyone, the majority of our...
Other leases have variations with regards to membership outside Denmead and provision of alcohol?
Yes, some of them do, yes,
Okay.
yes, not all.
So
Depending
it's
on
level setting, it's not...
No.
It's not
Okay.
something, it's already set in other...
I think previous,
Councillor Vickers,
previous to this, it's a difficult situation, but they weren't paying rent. They were paying them. So this is bringing them into line with other organisations within Denmead, and it's a right thing to do. I do, I'm a little bit with Councillor Carson. I do believe that they should, it's a variation of the lease, but I equally accept that it's a tricky situation, and if they do sort of refuse, then we are a loss of revenue.
Yeah.
So I am
For the-
on the fence. It's a difficult one, but I do.
So for the fee to be covered, it would cost about £1,000 for us to do that.
I know.
If we asked the bowling club,
So the
like I
potential
said, they could
loss,
turn around and say,
I get it,
Yeah.
but I also accept what Councillor Carson is saying in frugal times. This is taxpayers' money, so I do.
We're not split it.
Because they do want the change of
Not
lease
to.
themselves. I get it, Councillor Kay, I really do get it, because it's money that they haven't been coming into our coffers that should have been. So
But in that case, what is the motivation for them to start paying rent if they don't have to? Why is it? I'm obviously out of the blue.
that's fine. So they've had they had a 100-year 99 lease peppercorn rent, and no, it's still going. But there were the only one of our groups that weren't paying any rent. So just recently we've negotiated to bring them in line with paying everyone, and they've agreed. So now that we've got that far, to make some changes, which is in my report, which was brought to amenities, we now need to get that changed, and there is a fee for that, which is roughly about £1,000. And who do we get to pay for that? I mean, if we ask them to pay for it, they could turn around and say, no, that's square one. Where if council pays for it, it's £1,000. But as I said in my report here, in the long term, we stand to make 31,600 plus the CPI for each year. So if you look at it that way, don't think that's...
It's equally the net present value of now versus long-term funds.
Councillor Selwyn?
Yeah, this whole thing, it just strikes me as wrong. They're not paying any rent.
Mm-hmm.
We own the building, correct?
We own the land. The building is theirs, so their building sits on our land.
I see.
Yeah. This is why we've now managed to negotiate rent.
But they haven't actually paid anything.
They've never paid.
They're not due to pay anything until April.
It will start in April of next year, 400 thereabouts, obviously with the 3.8 increase, which they are aware of, and they've agreed to that. So this is all. Who's that now? Councillor Betts, yeah. If you have.
So I'm still struggling to understand why it's a variation to the lease if the others are subject to the same terms. Did we do a individual variation to every lease?
There's no separate leases, I'm assuming.
They all have independent leases.
Yes.
Every lease is completely different.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm not sure do any have alcohol licence?
I think they do here.
Yeah, they
No,
do here.
They do?
Yeah, they do here.
No?
that could be done under a tender, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
So
only, it's only a one-off licence.
Of course, tends
Yeah,
to
it's
be
not all-
Which is what the
Yeah.
Denmead Parish Council do when we have a the
Fine,
summer party.
fine.
Yes, I don't think any of our licences have a alcohol licence at the moment.
But again, in my report,
It's not,
obviously,
yeah, I understand it's not the actual alcohol licence, it's the provision to apply for an alcohol licence.
it's so that they can hold members' meals. Because obviously, when they go away, they go to other bowling associations and they have meals and drinks or whatever. And when their away teams come home to us, they obviously can't enjoy that same luxury here, so they're not getting that kind of revenue as well for when they do that.
So they could have not to sell it.
I'm sorry?
They could have not selling it.
I don't think they can. I think that is. I think France just said that is
Provision
in
of
there.
alcohol drink for sale. They
On
were
your own.
gifting it to their guests, and that's up to them.
Brilliant.
If you pay the ticket fund. I think my questions come from the concern of what is them to stop them having a party every Saturday night?
What does it stop them if it's their licence?
If they can't have alcohol, I don't know, I just want to understand the safeguard of that.
They raid each other in there.
I know, but if we're then having people from outside Denmead and lots of, the ability to have alcohol, because the membership would change, it's the other laws in which they're trying to. So at the moment it's 50% within Denmead, which needs to change. I understand we seem to
It is,
have-
and all we're asking is that clause to be, because obviously some of their members are becoming of senior age, and as they fall off from Denmead, they need to look elsewhere to try and bring new members in. I totally understand that.
They want to keep it. They want to keep it current. They want to keep it thriving, and they, yeah, I don't disagree. It's a difficult, and they should be paying years ago, to be honest. And the payment has come up because they want something. So it's we are in a firmer position to negotiate with them because they've come to us seeking a change of lease.
Councillor Bowden.
Two questions. First one would be, why do you actually have to pay for a lawyer to create a variation? There's no legal requirement for a lawyer to deal with a lease contract, as long as both sides agree on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then we don't actually need to pay for anything for a lease variation. So the second point is, one of the variations would need to be underneath that alcohol licence, that is not to then turn into a social club where they're doing birthday parties, 80th birthday, for them to create an additional revenue stream for their club. So otherwise you then turn it into, this is just another bar in Denmead and it's a social area. What's not them having a christening for one of their grandkids there or something like that, and it then having other uses.
I do believe we do need to involve solicitor for the parish council.
Yeah, I think it helps protect us as well and
Yeah, we
safeguards
have to.
us.
Yeah.
But
We do
I
have a-
take your
against that.
point about the fact that there has to be some very clear guidance about the use of that alcohol licence. And you can't, it is just for their functions and not for.
That's
Is
what they've
That's
promised.
what I say as well.
But I think it needs to be.
It needs to be-
But it is part of
I think a promise
needs to be
is
explicit.
Oh, hold on.
yeah, a promise needs to be more specific. It needs
But that would be
more
written up
narrow.
as part of their agreement.
Well then,
according
Joe's
to
point
what
is very
Francis
valid.
says, so-
It needs to be sort of done legally and tied up, because I do take your point completely that somebody could, is.
I only say this from experience because I've got 55 tenants on my site, and I have to be very explicit in my leases about
Yeah, no, if that comes
which
from.
I write.
Yeah.
Right. But that can be written in as part of the agreement.
Mm.
I mean, again,
So you would
we-
have to come to an agreement what you would want that to be tonight, if you do agree to go ahead.
Or we could always bring this item back if you want to go. If you want council to go off and do a bit more researching, or part of the liaison working party to meet with the bowling club and have this discussion with them, so that we can get a concrete, definitive answer. Would council be happy with that? Then we
I'm
can bring the-
happy to propose that, and I haven't been to the meetings yet, but I'm on the meetings council, so I'm happy to come and have that conversation as well.
Okay, so I'm happy to take these questions back to the bowling club and make them aware of council's
So this would be a full
concerns.
council item agenda, because
and
it's
then we can
lease.
bring this back in January, perhaps. By which point I've met with them and we can talk about that, perhaps. So I'm happy to make that. Sorry, were you happy to make that proposal, Sam?
So a proposal that this goes back to the bowling green for discussion and to be then reconsidered at the next full council.
Can I ask a question?
Okay.
When would we need to have this agreed to actually ensure we're getting paid financial year 26-27? If that starts on the 1st of April,
April, yes.
We need to have this in place in
By then.
February, March.
I should think so. Yes. The earliest opportunity, the better. I should think.
If we're pushing this out till January.
January should be fine, by which point we can get those answers and come back and we can make that decision in January if council's happy to do that on the answers that myself and Councillor Stad will bring. So
my
Councillor
perspective
Betts.
is not that it's wrong at all, it's just it needs to be safeguarded.
Fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm happy to second Councillor Boland's proposal. May I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal?
Yep.
That's unanimous.
And that will come back on the 14th of
14th
January.
of January, isn't it? Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Good debate. Very good. Okay. Item 12 on the agenda is the neighbourhood plan update. To receive a report from the steering group, it's to note, I'm happy to give a couple of the updates and progress so far. Stuart Todd has been drafted a policy document for review by the steering group. Feedback from the steering group will be forwarded to Stuart Todd. A revised version of the plan is expected by the end of December, bringing us close to the Regulation 14. Councillor Ranger has arranged fortnightly discussions with Jackie Porter to keep her informed. The steering committee has provided questions for Councillor Ranger to raise with her. The agreement reached with Persimmons to work with the Southern Water, Drainage and Solutions undertaken, and Persimmons will send a plan to the steering group by the end of January 2026. Drainage remains the council and steering group's top priority. Notes to also be added to the website.
So the notes for this are already on the website for the members of the public.
Okay, thanks Joe. Item 13 on the agenda is the meeting timetable. To consider and agree the meeting timetable for 2026. To consider and agree. Again, the timetable for next year has been circulated. You've all probably had the chance to look at. Is council happy with the timetable for next year? Therefore, I propose that we approve. May I have a seconder? Councillor Vickers? Yeah, seconder. Fine, okay. May I have a show of hands? All in favour, please. Thank you. Okay, Joe.
That's fine. Sorry, my voice is going.
Okay. Item 14, Ashling Park Security. Following the resolution of the amenities on the 22nd of October 2025, advice has been taken from Filton Trust regarding keeping the site safe to discuss and consider what safety measures can be put in place to keep KGB safe, to discuss and determine action.
I do have a point from Councillor Ranger on this part.
Thank you.
So, Ashling Park Security, if we have already installed some height barriers in some parts of the village, then maybe we should adopt similar practices here as well, providing there is access from larger than 2.1 metre trucks, cherry pickers for example, that can gain access if required. Just so for those councillors that might not know, we do have a gate that has the access for the vehicles, which is separate to what was agreed at amenities.
Here we go. So those of you who aren't aware, but I'm hoping you all are. Okay, Daniel. So that's the current one we just recently had installed, which is a 2.1. And
so this is the replacement one?
This is the replacement one, yeah. So this is the one that swings. It's on a hinge, so it can open up to let in bigger.
But we also have a
staff, emergency services.
So this is to get access to the play park.
Yeah.
We also have another gate that goes into Ashland Park that does not have a height barrier and is always remained locked. So there is always access to the field for people to consider when you're discussing this. You won't necessarily need a height barrier that opens because we do have a separate entrance to the park.
Yeah. Councillor Starr, you can just quickly show us the two other car parks that currently don't have any security or height barriers. So that one's considered the tennis courts car park, and then the one on Stoke Road near the White Hart is next, which we should all know as well. So yeah, now that the gates are going to be left unlocked, there is a little bit of a security issue. If the council's of the mindset to look at height barriers, the one that we've just seen that has recently been installed, which has got the hinge swing on it, costs roughly 3,485 net, and a single, which doesn't have the swinging hinge, is 1,200 net, which is a fixed bar height restriction. The council's of the mindset to have perhaps two of those.
Just ask a quick question for clarity. What do you mean by keeping the site safe? Safe from what? Presumably vehicles over 2.1 metres.
No travellers onto the field, potentially.
So there's still a gate here just at the front. We used to lock, we used to open it in the morning and lock at night, but now it's left continuously open. And the fence at the very back as Daniel zooms in, it might not be strong enough perhaps if people wish to force their way into our...
That's just a little bit of wooden fencing that could just be pushed over. So
we could put some measures in, which would be height barriers, for example, to secure our
Is everybody here aware of the amenity decision that was taken? I think you probably need to enlighten what the amenity decision was.
The recent amenities one, there was an item agenda, which the discussion was whether or not we leave our gates locked morning and evening, or we leave them now permanently open. And the decision was to leave them open. So now it has come to this committee to decide and address the security issue of doing that, and whether or not we might have to put some security in. My recommendation, if we are to, would be height barriers and restrictions, which we already have in place. But that is for council to decide. Councillor Betts.
So, brief rationales to the decision to leave them open versus closed.
I think we discussed the communities, we discussed the, starting costs of doing it, and we also looked at the, particularly where the White Hart is, Southwark Road, people can put their cars in, and it was just felt that the situation of opening and closing was particularly onerous and not needed, when there could be a much more effective, longer term solution. I think we just moved with the times really, and thought about it with a sense of clarity and, just thinking about our staff have to open and close it every day of the year, which is...
There was one, it was down to one member of staff having to do that 7 days a week.
No, opening was it was only closing that was done by one member.
Sorry.
There was 2 members of staff were involved in the opening and closing.
So that was something that we took into consideration when looking forward. Councillor Bowman.
My only concern is an ambulance access to the playing fields. If there's someone going to be using those playing fields, it's likely to be there, and that's where an ambulance will go.
They don't have access at the moment into the field from there.
But if we can get that gate open, but in terms of...
No, the gate, there's a fencing.
Here, but the ambulance is going to come to there. The playing fields here, that's where the injuries are most likely going to occur in a football match.
Yeah. So at the moment, if the emergency services are called, they are aware that we've got a swinging height restriction at Ashling down at the bigger car park, and I can't remember the road, but the one closest to the pavilion footpath, that's also on their map for instant easy access as well. That is registered with the emergency services, so they are aware of where they can get to.
That's it.
Yeah, it's on their map, so yeah.
So that is their access point,
on
Nolan Road. And they can get onto the field through that gate. And we do have a caretaker on site during football matches.
Okay, lovely.
I agree with like Councillor Ranger in the proposal. It's just about the budget, is there a budget for it?
So
the information from Jenny.
So I've spoken to Jenny. There is a Sage Code 3031 earmark which we can use to fund the height barriers if that is the decision of council, if they wish to go down that route.
Height barrier which does restrict. So I'm thinking now, self-interest, I've got a VW camper van, I can't go into those things with that van. That's just that is essentially just my family car. Why can't you just reinforce the gate at the bottom, which is the flimsy bit, the concern that could be breached, rather than putting a height impediment up instead. Just make that bit more robust.
You could do, but if you've got weight behind the vehicle, it's going to go straight through that padlock. Would it not, perhaps?
I'm not saying putting a padlock in, having a lift and raising bar, which is concreted in,
We could do that.
is going to be a lot more difficult to get through than someone bolt cocking a swing arm height restriction.
We do already have those,
Not in those car parks, you don't.
not round KGB, but in some of our other car parks, we already have those lifting locks. That could be for consideration. Yeah, the yellow posts that we've got the keys. That's
They're drop posts.
drop posts. Yeah, drop posts. We could look at putting drop posts behind the current.
No, it would have
We'd
to be a
have to
replacement. It would have to be replacement. It's just wooden flimsy fencing.
Yeah.
So you'd have to make something more secure.
What, like rescue fencing?
I mean, you could just push that over your hand. What's there? That's why the gates were always locked.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that, but like I'm saying,
But we've-
what fencing would we put there? I don't know what the alternative is that you're really talking about, if I'm honest. I've just always thought it was just a swing gate and that's all that.
A metal string gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that's there. Yeah. We could ask. We could go away and look at alternatives if council wish us to, rather than a height barrier.
I guess it's a cost, isn't it? You know, if the height barrier is £3 and the metal posts are, I don't know.
My only concern on this is from the 23rd of December, there's no safety to that field.
No, I get that.
So we can't bring this back to council on the 14th of January for decision.
No.
We have to keep the site safe.
So within
Or-
that, the 3,500 was the one with the swing in,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was 1,200 for a static.
Fixed. Yeah,
for a
static.
fixed.
Yeah, fixed.
So then what's the need? So if we've got one that has a swing in and they all access the same field, do we need multiple?
Don't need multiple swinging, in
So
my
wider
opinion.
for the
In
12
my
months.
opinion, 2 fixed height barriers would be sufficient.
I mean, it still wouldn't defend. I can hear that it's still leaving it open in a way, but I would rule out the 3,500. Personally.
Okay. Do I have a proposal from the councillor?
I don't really know where I sit with that really.
No?
To be fair, I was sort of on the mindset that swinging gates, but you know, it's half the cost, isn't it really? So I guess we have to secure the field,
Mm-hmm.
you know, otherwise we go back to the locking of the gates, which is a ridiculous situation to be in. So I think it's
We need a 5 councillor motion to
Yes,
discuss.
we've just done that
Yeah.
resolution on that.
Is there an opportunity to agree that now and then look into consider strengthening for the gate, the one that's at the back?
Again, that's a time issue.
Okay.
As Joe's just mentioned, the next one's in January,
14th
which
of
brings
January.
me past the
think-
Christmas period.
I think for me it's got to be the fixed one. I think.
If so, I'm happy to propose, how does that look? I mean, is there anything we're overlooking?
Sorry.
Is there anything we're overlooking with having fixed instead of swinging? And is there a fire in the wrong corner and it's a problem, or?
No.
Well, the parish
okay.
council would have to unlock the swing. So if we weren't in the office, we're not going to be able to unlock it.
Yeah.
But the fixed ones
Yeah.
need no
No, so it wouldn't. No. But I'm just saying, if you want it open, the parish, you'd have to arrange to have it opened.
It's sort of still the same problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not necessarily the fire brigade would just bolt cock the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they'd be straight through that. Yeah.
But that's not their access point anyway. It's on the corner.
Was that the install process, Martin, or was that the material process?
That's it. That's net. Yeah, that's what.
That's with it installed.
Yeah.
To be
Right.
fair, the lower cost you haven't got a definite on. It's only the higher cost you've got
Yeah.
on.
Francis came up with the 1,200.
Yeah, but we don't know that's a definite price. We only know
give or
that
take. Yeah.
we only know the other one because we've just paid that out. We haven't actually got any.
So we haven't got a definitive cost of
No.
I suppose we could make a proposal, perhaps, because of the timescale, that we go away and we converse via email. because of the
It would have
urgency.
been great if we could have run a definitive cost, I guess.
Is there up to a limit we'd be willing to pay if they were going to go and look away and look at it? And then you can authorise that.
Not according to Jenny, no. She said she can find. We've got a
We've got
earmarked funds for that.
I know I meant in terms of making a decision. So if we don't know if it's exactly 1,200, we're happy if it's up to 15, because it's still less than 3.5.
Yeah, if council makes a proposal for the fixed bar on the conditional price, we could then converse that outside.
Does anyone have any strong opinions on the benefits of a swinging bar?
I wouldn't see it for those two car parks. We already have one in situ, and Joe's just gone through those benefits, and of course there's other access points as well. No? Right. I'm going to propose that we go for the 2 single fixed height barriers on the condition that council is happy with the price that we can go away and look for and circulate via email, and then we come back from that.
Because we've got nobody from the 23rd of
No.
to lock those gates, because I've had to change them over a staff's contract on the basis of that decision. So,
Yeah, I'll second that.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you, Councillor Selway. Okay, do I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Is that right, Joe?
Yep.
Yep, thanks. Okay, item 15, Kidmore Toilets. To receive a letter from Winchester City Council regarding the future of the public toilets in Kidmore Car Park, and to discuss and decide on one of the 3 options offered to be reported back to Winchester City Council by the 30th of November 2025 to discuss and decide. So we've all managed to go through the supporting document, the letter from Winchester. Just to quickly summarise, number 1 is to commit to fund the full cost of operating the toilets, with the City Council continuing to manage cleaning, utilities and maintenance on behalf, invoicing annually. 2, to take on ownership and management of the toilets directly, giving the Parish Council full control and flexibility over how the facilities are maintained. And 3, choose not to take on responsibility, in which case refurbishment would not take place and the City Council would need to consider the ongoing operation of the toilets, including possible closure. Who wants to start this off?
Well, there's only 2 options,
Yes,
isn't it? 'Cause we
it is.
can't lose our toilets. So, like, the 3rd option is an inherent threat, isn't it, really? So, there's 2 options, really.
Okay, I'm of the same mindset of you. I think we need to look after our toilets. They are very, very important to our village life, if you will. My concern also is the car park. There's many things surrounding the car park that I think we need to go back to Winchester with, and put in a negotiation with Winchester. For example, if we don't end up with the car park, or put that as part of our condition, for example, in the future, Winchester, that will belong to Winchester. They can do what they wish with that car park. They can put in charging fees. They disappear. What are other councillors' thoughts on toilets, car park?
So I agree that we shouldn't. Please.
Yes, Councillor Berry has his hand up
I
first.
think we should go back to the Winchester and see that we'd be more interested in keeping toilets if the car park comes, because that's the central part of their need for parking there. And as you know, it's duty full, and we can maintain it better than what they could. And it stops them putting in charges, and at a later date, we could look at putting electric charges in there.
Or there's already, they've already got 2, yeah. And sorry, Councillor Betts, just briefly beforehand, the condition of the car park is relatively good, so I don't think it's going to need any attention for a while. We recently got the DCC one quoted, didn't we? I know it's very expensive. Was it about 100 for here? Bit frightening, but at the moment I think Kidmore is in a good condition where we won't have to worry about that for some time. And we may get funding perhaps for that if we wanted to. Sorry, Councillor Butcher,
Yes,
what are you going to say?
I was going to say I completely agree, absolutely no way we should close the toilets, but then I would highlight the wording of the third, which is consider possible closure, so I think I'm in agreement that there's room for negotiation. I don't think that we should have to choose one of the three. I think we go back and engage with Shell and think about what we want, because they've given us this carrot of potential refurbishment. What does that look like? To what extent? How long will that be paid back? And then ownership is probably the overall desire. So how do we get allocating it to conversation?
Just so you know, we can go back. We can extend.
Yeah.
We have got the option due to meeting time schedules
Yeah, don't be
and things like
frightened
that.
of the. Is it the 30th of November?
It is the 30th of November, but I can go back before the 30th of November.
They wanted us to just make a decision really quickly, but we don't have to.
Trust me, this is going on a few years. They're
I need to respond in some format.
Okay. Councillor Bowen.
So obviously there's an ongoing cost of cleaning. What's the electricity contract with that? How long is that tied in for? Who are we paying the water to? And what's the water rates? Because those are ongoing costs that the village will have to bear, and the business rate power, but not paying what you were paying on the house.
I say Bishop's Waltham. I think it is around 25,000 for full costs.
Oh, it's
Okay. Yeah.
So in the letter, it had 7,975 for cleaning, and then utilities and maintenance bringing it up to 11,000. It's pretty cheap.
Well, yeah.
Currently-
Bishop's Waltham have just taken over
Yeah.
their toilets, and they have just had a refurbishment done. And I believe
Looks
their
good.
cost is in excess of £20,000 per year.
Currently, the 50% contract we have with them is just over £3,000 for the 50%.
That's about £4,500.
And 4.5. 50% of what we pay at the moment. And of course, if we take that on cleaning, we then get to choose and who we go to.
Or you can go out and use the same cleaners that Bishop's Waltham would use. We can,
He did
yeah, you
discuss
can
it
do, yeah.
actually,
Yeah. So you
we
can
spoke
go
to
into the
it
same
already.
contracts, yeah.
Right. Would the councillor like to make a proposal?
So I propose we go back to Winchester to discuss what the options look like in greater detail.
Regarding taking ownership?
Regarding taking ownership and refurb, and just also to discuss having the car park on the table.
As well, yeah.
I'll second
Okay, so just for clarification then, we're going to go back to Winchester,
Yes.
okay, to discuss taking on ownership along with the car park
And the
and
refurbishment.
refurbishment.
So I understood from the letter that the refurbishment was the will keep ownership. So we kind of want both.
Well, Bishop's Waltham have taken ownership and had a refurb.
They're paying 25 grand.
Where are their car
Yep.
parks? Where are their toilets in a car park? And they own the car park now?
No.
They don't.
Okay, so this is a,
This is it.
yeah,
This is the crux of
I think the car park.
But I'm not
costs would
sure
be-
they applied to take
Oh,
the car
right,
park.
okay.
I don't think it's. I don't believe it's. When we spoke to them, I don't believe there was.
No.
They didn't request to take the car park.
No.
Okay.
And even they said to us, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Which I think, yeah.
I think it's.
So I think
Okay.
with the proposal is the ownership with the car park and refurb.
Yes, please. Okay,
So
do I
the
have
assets
we had a
management team or whatever, because it's going to go round and round. isn't
Yeah.
it?
So there's somebody directly I've got to apply to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strategic director.
Oh well.
So Councillor Berry seconded, is that correct? Okay, thank you. Can I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal, please? Thank you, that's unanimous. Good debate too.
Obviously, I'll bring that back to full council. Hopefully, it's in January if we can. But
Ownership of our next car park.
that might be a bit early for that.
What the query
Councillor Bowen?
is not to change any of the
Yeah.
rules about these, but obviously there's charges in there. If you pay to use those charges, who owns those charges and where does that money go?
The company will you tell me who that?
What?
The electric car.
The electric charges, yeah, that's by the service provider, I presume. Is that correct? Yeah, service provider, yeah.
So Obviously, there might be a licence or a lease or ground rent
Yeah.
that is being paid for like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there might be
That's a
some
real
complications.
opportunity.
Okay. Good to know.
And then we also need to then look at utilities. If you are going to put more in, then we need to make sure that the B&O infrastructure is capable of supporting high-speed chargers in that location. And there is a lucrative deal to be had with an EV charging company to put in high-speed chargers in there.
Because if it's all
If
like that.
the B&O is capable of doing so, it doesn't then impact because we've just had that massive building estate put next to it.
Good. Thank you. Lisa. Okay, back to the agenda. Item 16, online booking and terms and conditions for sporting facilities. To review the trial online booking system for the council's website and to discuss and agree the terms and conditions. To discuss and agree. So myself and Councillor Ranger have been trialling the new booking system online, which was set up by our planning clerk, Lucy.
Yeah.
I can feedback that it works very well.
Yeah, so
I'm
it's our
happy with it.
website
Yeah.
company that have actually set it up, but obviously
She's
with
she's
help with them.
feedback art.
But can I give you a bit of background to the booking system we have in place at the moment? Because most of you won't be aware of that. For the fields, for the football pitches, we receive an email on a Wednesday. It gets drawn up on a Thursday. A member of staff that's got to work the Saturday and Sunday gets advised on Friday. No, so it's not. It's against employment law. So yes, it's one of the things I've been working on for probably 5 or 6 months. So it is. We do need to give 7 days' notice. This will allow, because they have to book online within seven working days, which then gives us a calendar 7 days to advise the member of staff when they will be working over that weekend. And it gives us the opportunity to prepare work for that member of staff if there are no games. So that's just the background. It is just purely an email that comes through.
Yeah, much more simple.
And it's been going on. And for those that are aware, the amenities job is very busy. It is going to the amenities clerk, where this will come directly into the online. It will all be automated.
Yeah, and of course, for those that don't know, the amenities clerk currently only works 2 days a week.
15 hours a week, yeah.
Wednesdays and
Can I
Thursdays.
ask about the safeguards and checks that the booking system has? So, you know, I guess when it goes through a human person, and I'm not opposed to the booking system, so I think it's a really good idea. You know, there are, you know, if, I don't know, say a random group of people wanted a book playing, yeah, we would ask the questions, the human would ask the questions, whereas the booking system would just accept that booking.
Have you actually looked at the website?
No,
No.
I haven't.
So it is only for football and cricket.
It is
And
only-
yeah, so it is only for our main sports facilities,
Yeah, but
which is basic. But we don't do that now. We just receive an email and we book them.
And we just book it,
We
we
don't-
don't
yeah.
have any checks.
Because it
around
comes from the same person all of the time.
Okay. It's just, no, I haven't looked at it. So
Yes.
I don't know, but I just think,
But it's
would we have any, if they're the same people coming to us every time? I guess.
well, it's for football pitches
Yeah,
and cricket.
yeah, that's fine.
Majority. So it's our sports facilities. So that's what the booking
I
system
just
is for.
remember there was something coming to council about, there was a request, wasn't there? Do you remember ages ago for other football teams to use our,
Oh, yes.
and it got quite, it was sort of
A bit aggy.
voted down. It was Aggie because, you know, it was Denmead's football pitch and stuff like that.
My understanding that men's Denmead football are not even playing on our pitches anymore.
I
playing
just
elsewhere.
remember that it got quite
But the
heated.
website will have
and
tools for us to amend and change things if we need to. We can always make a.
Well, they know when their season, as soon as they set up their dates, could put in every date for their whole season.
Because we had requests from another football team to use our facilities, but we, our council, decided to not allow that to happen because of like preserving the, you know, the Denmead's children using those football pitches. So, and it was a very, very heated debate, if I remember.
So the goalposts are owned by the football club. So we don't own them. So anybody hiring the fields would have to provide their own.
It was contentious, it was a contentious discussion, and I think because there are no checks and balances as who is going to be booking those, I think just that's
But we
my-
don't have that in place now.
Well, if we're discussing the terms and conditions, you can just add can be declined for any reason or something like that.
But would it be declined? That's what I'm
Is it
saying.
declined
So it's a good question. I don't know.
No,
I've only
I don't.
used it. I've not. I wouldn't know.
I just remember that discussion at full council, and it was heated, and it was a difficult discussion.
If that's something you wish to have clarity on, we can always go back and
I would,
source that.
I would prefer to know
Maybe
that
it's,
something could be
coming back again.
overridden.
What should we do?
I just remember that view there,
Yeah.
and it was very clear.
Okay, we can always go
I
back.
don't want to put a spanner in the works,
No,
and
that's
it's not
fine.
my intention to do so, but I was at that discussion, and it was particularly difficult.
Okay.
And we have had a difficult relationship sometimes with the football club.
We can Councillor Betts.
I'd suggest that because I'm hearing that this is causing people to find out on Friday they're working on a Saturday.
Yeah, they can't happen.
Which is not great. So it feels remiss to kick it to January. So is there a term and condition that we can agree that would fix your concern and allow us to make a decision?
The council reserves the right to council bookings. Is it already in there?
Oh,
I'll have it then.
In such case, notice will be sent to the email address provided at the time of booking.
So how was that going to be monitored then?
Well, we have to arrange the pictures. We have to send the invoices.
Okay.
But we get more notification on the booking and we're not waiting for an email to come in. So we will probably have them at the beginning of the season for the whole season.
Okay. So as long as there's those checks and balances in, I'm fine about it, but I'm not fine about it if it's going to cause another sort of heated argument in the football club.
I suppose the end of the question to serve that is there a provision for instead of first come, first serve? Are you able to prioritise them?
Hence, it goes back to the council reserves the right to cancel.
It's all in there, isn't it? So
And if I go back to my original point, we cannot allow and continue to give somebody 24 hours notice on their working pattern for the week. We cannot. It's not acceptable.
I don't think that's up for debate.
But that's how it's working at the moment, so we have to change.
I think we're all agreeing that.
Yeah.
We just need to know the checks and balances of the booking system. That's all I'm asking.
Councillor Setway.
Can I ask who owns the booking system?
We would. It's on our. It'll be attached to our website. The trial is a dummy of our current website with it added.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's agreed to go live, we notify the website company who does all of our website.
I like
Smart marketing.
I know Chris likes it. I know he's not here this evening, but we are both of the same mindset. And it's a good booking system.
I'm not arguing the quality of the work. My concern is more around our ongoing liability if, how can I phrase this, tech companies tend to be awkward at best of times and tend to put terms and conditions in that no one reads.
So these are the terms and conditions that we added. It's our website. We operate the website. We add to the website. They just do the designs.
Okay.
So we add and remove.
We have
in
full
the
control.
office.
Yes, we oversee
There are our
it.
own terms. Just so you know, our terms and conditions have been looked at by Tozers, who is our solicitor. There was one amendment they made from what you had, but otherwise they were very complimentary. There is, for those that have looked at it on the website, there is a tick box to say they accept the terms and conditions. So,
Yeah, happy. Therefore, I propose that we go ahead now that the trial has come to an end and we adopt fully the booking system online.
I'm happy to second you.
Councillor Betts, thank you very much. Can I have a show of hands all in favour of that proposal, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
sorry, my voice is a bit funny.
That's all right. Can you pass on our great thanks as well to
Yes, I
Nancy,
will do, yeah.
and yourself, of course. Also. Very good. Okay, item 17. On the agenda is the Parish Council Committee structure to discuss and determine an amendment to the Council's SO standing orders and FAMP terms of reference to accept the Vice Chairman of committees to be added to the FAMP to discuss and determine action. So currently FAMP consists of 3 members of council, which happens to be the chairmans, which is myself, Councillor Carson and Councillor Ranger. Obviously having just 3 leaves us very vulnerable if one of us happens to be on holiday, sick, or for any reason can't turn up. We used to have the vice chairmans attend FAMP. Currently that's not the case, so we are simply asking council to consider adding vice chairmans of committees to join the chairmans of the FAMP committee.
I believe it was agreed in 2023, but it never went into full submission via the previous clerk.
Okay.
So it was previously agreed, which is why it was actioned before.
Yeah, it's a common practice. We've done it before. It's worked well. So in my view, there's no reason why we shouldn't. So therefore, I'm going to go straight in and say that we, I propose that we adopt that. Thank you, Councillor Berry. May I have a show of hands? All in favour to adopt? All those abstain? You're going to abstain? Thank you. Okay. Item 18 on the agenda is representation by DPC to Denmead associations to discuss and consider a request from Councillor Clay to set up representatives to attend the Denmead Village Association and Denmead Twin Association and represent any other requests received by other organisations to discuss and determine action. I'm going to defer this item to the next agenda, considering that today the chairman of the DVA no longer wishes to have a representative of the Twin Association, which we've always had close connections with. Our chairman is often invited to be the Honourable President, and it was born out of council. They still wish us to, so we're going to bring it back to the next item agenda for the Twin Association to be considered. So is council happy for me to defer that item? May I have a show of hands, please? Thanks. Okay, item 19 on the agenda, correspondence received. Thank you. To note that the clerk has received a request from Swings and Things to meet with the chairman of council and amenities chair. The clerk will organise a meeting with Councillor Ranger, Councillor Carson and the clerk, and this is to note. Item 20 on the agenda is confidential report to pass a resolution in accordance with the Public Bodies Admissions to Meeting Act 1960 to exclude the public and press for discussions of a confidential report relating to the following: 1. Minutes of the Council confidential report to receive and confirm the accuracy of the confidential report of the meeting held on the 15th of October 2025.